You are now listening to the Business Chatter Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Business Chatter Podcast. This is our second episode of the day. So if you're wondering why, if you watched the last episode and we're wearing the same clothes,
And by the last episode, he means the episode that comes on after this.
the next episode,
The episode that will air a week from the airing of this episode.
we'll be wearing the same clothes. We don't wear the same clothes every week. We wear the same clothes
When
the same days.
on the same day when we record multiple episodes. We could have changed, but we
didn't wanna
decided
fool you.
that we wanted to bring it to you straight.
Yeah.
I'm Chris,
And I'm Anthony.
and we're happy that you're here with us today. In this episode, we're going to chat briefly about consistency. And the reason why is this is episode 11. A personal goal for me and discussing our podcast was we got to get 1, and then we have to stay consistent. And once we get to 10, we can have a small element of celebration to get to that point. So episode 10 was the get to know Anthony tough questions episode, which we hope that you
No
enjoyed.
tough questions.
You struggled.
Softball.
You struggled for
No,
a few.
no.
You struggled for a few, but hey,
No.
that's not for
I
me to
gathered
decide.
my thoughts.
Yes,
A+ interviewer, A+ interviewee. All right, I'm going to give it to you. You're good at interviewing
we'll
me.
take that. I will
But I
take
was
that.
better at answering them.
We'll let the community decide.
Community's on my side, man.
But this is episode 11. We were consistent for the first 10. This will air a week after, so we're staying consistent. But there's definitely something to be said about being consistent when you're trying to build something and being able to overcome all of the doubt and questions and roadblocks that can come in your way.
Yeah, being consistent, I think it's a mindset.
For sure.
Yeah.
Before we go any further,
Oh, we weren't starting?
well, no, we are. Actually, that was my fault. I should have said this earlier. For those that have been listening and for anyone new, we talk about everything.
All right.
We talk about entrepreneurship, startup to enterprise, value creation, and everything in between. Anthony has a problem with the way that I move my hands, and too bad, because I'm not going to stop.
So actually, I took a business communication class, and a lot of it was like being confident with your hands and like not doing something awkward, like don't fold them, don't do this,
Mhm.
like be powerful with them. Do the Angela Merkel hand pyramid when you talk. Like I have a point to make,
Yeah,
and it's important.
there's like the 5 most powerful
Yeah.
hand positions.
Chris
you can
is
read that
outward
article on.
projecting, like he's throwing his words at you. So he
Well, you know what it is?
projects.
I'm tossing them out to the whole community because I want everyone to be able to receive them equally.
Well, I don't know if it's as much the hand thing as the face thing you do with your hands. I know you can't help; it's your face. So I don't know. I don't want to. I'm going to give you some leeway there, but not a lot.
When I put together a reel of all my facial reactions and the if anybody needs me as an extra in a movie or a skit or anything along those lines, I'm here.
If you ever need a homeless man in a movie, Chris will play him for you.
I will grow my beard out, and hey,
Have you guys seen his bald spot?
a gig's a gig. A gig is a gig.
Show me your bald spot.
Yeah, that's not happening.
All right.
You really, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave immediately after this episode is
You're
over.
lucky I like you.
There's
You're-
no
you're-
chatting after
You're pretty
this.
much doing everything you can for our fan base to not
I'm
like
being
you.
consistent.
Yeah,
There's no breaks here.
dude, I don't know if a heel on a podcast is really the move that's sustainable.
I don't know. I feel like it is. You need the give and take, and you're just taking it. I'm giving it all.
we'll see who wins in the end.
All right.
So anyway,
Consistency. I
consistency.
feel like I said
I guess you're being consistent
Yeah.
in the sense of digging a hole that just keeps getting
Oh,
deeper
I
every
know.
episode.
I know every episode.
So yeah, consistency. It certainly is a mindset, right? You do need to be able to remain focused and face adversity with the ability to still put one foot in front of the other every time. It's challenging. We have busy schedules. We're in different places, like literally different states a lot of the time. We have family, personal, employment obligations, and we've done a good job of being able to be transparent in our communication, but also focused on the fact that we don't want to allow for a week to go by without being able to, to provide what we think is valuable content, but also make sure that we're following through on our mission to be able to build a community. And if we don't show up, then we're not upholding what we've promised to do.
Yeah. And I think it has helped so far. I mean, giving something people, something that they know they're going to be able to listen to every week. Like I've already had people reach out like, oh, I know on Wednesdays, like I get to listen to your podcast. And like, it's not number one on my list, but it's there.
But it's there.
Yeah, it's there every week. And like, I know like it's playing automatically on my podcast playlist.
Totally.
And I'm like, wow, you know what? I feel like that was a little bit of an insult, but I'll take it.
But I'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, no, we truly do appreciate it. Everyone who's taking their time out to watch, to listen, to respond back, to something as simple as following us on Instagram at Business Chatter Pod, or our LinkedIn page, sending an email, host at Business Chatter Pod. We will respond. Shameless plugs there. But it is really cool. I had two quick experiences. One of them is I do have on Spotify it's set up to automatically download the episode when it comes live. So it is really cool to go into my Spotify account and look and see our podcast sitting there ready, downloaded, ready to go, and then get a chance to to watch it, and knowing that others are doing the same. The second is I was at a networking event and speaking to a founder with a few other individuals, and it was really, really exciting, I guess, to mention that I have, that I'm part of a podcast, and to just hear the feedback of people who were genuinely interested and wanted to know what it was about, and getting a chance to hear about what we're doing. It's cool. It's cool. Does it mean that they're going to listen? Does it mean that it's going to take things to the next level? No. Optimistically, it would be great if everybody who was excited about it listened. But, at the very least, it's something that we are both passionate about. And we've already seen that if one person takes value away, then we're successful there. So we're going to remain consistent on that until the community is so big that it's, undeniable.
Yeah. And again, I think it's really helped our follower base. And it's really awesome just to see, like, kind of breaking from the consistency thing. But, maybe not, because we do have followers that do listen consistently, and like getting those messages on LinkedIn from people that like some of you don't even know that well, or like you don't know at all. And it's like, oh, I was listening to your podcast and like you said this and like that was really funny, or like that was relatable or whatever. And I'm like, first of all, like I don't even remember saying that, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Chris does most of the editing.
And by most, he means all.
And they're like, oh yeah, I really resonate with that. That's, something that's like really important to me, whatever. Like, without consistency, we wouldn't get that, and we wouldn't be getting there at this point.
Certainly. And to that point,
no, I do some of the editing, Chris. My resume says I do some of the editing.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does some of the editing. So, to that point, the episode with Perisphere last week, I think we feel that we were most comfortable in that episode in terms of interviewing a guest. And that's not
times the charm.
And that's not to say that the previous episodes lack anything, because we did feel confident there too. But, our rapport with guests and being able to be more of who we are when we don't have a guest on an episode where we have guests, we're getting there. And, that's a result of consistency. It's a matter of showing up every time and practicing this and flexing the muscle and, getting stronger with each time. I look forward to episode, 25 and episode 50 and, our 30th.
500.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the key, right? There's a lot of the podcasts that you listen to now outside of ours are probably close to at least 100 episodes, if not closer to 500 or 1,000 episodes. And if you go back, there's certainly more feedback you can give on episode 10 than you would on episode 100 or 1,000. And, we know that that's where we are. But we're working hard to be better.
That's also the thing about consistency. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, I mean,
I'm used to it. I know.
Yeah. I was going to say you probably meant to, but unintentionally, because we're recording.
Oh, now I lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry. No, you said.
So, that's consistency, right? And that's one of those things, like if we weren't consistent and we weren't taking feedback, to make improvements over time, like we wouldn't be where we're at, going from now versus if we weren't consistent versus in the future if we weren't consistent. I don't know if this is making any sense at all. Holy,
you were getting somewhere.
Yeah,
but
wow.
You trailed off a little bit. It's I think the main point of what you were trying to say was that it compounds.
Yeah, it's compounding because the more consistent we are, the more consistently we get feedback on how to improve, whether it be from us or you guys, because, if you guys think our podcast sucks, trust me, we think it sucks even worse.
Yep. And
Yeah.
and there's something that you're going to see.
I don't know, sucks worse, sucks more.
Yeah, that's an interesting
Sucks more.
grammar debate.
Yeah.
But, there's
wait, hold on. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
talk over you again. Further versus farther. Figurative versus literal distance. So farther is going to be literal distance. Further is going to be figurative distance, generally speaking. Interesting grammar.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem.
I think you took the education a little bit further than you needed to.
Good.
Thanks.
Good.
See? Learn something new every day.
Yeah. Well, maybe next time I'll sit farther away.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Who said we weren't an educational podcast?
That's right.
Now it does compound, and the feedback that we get from, not from ourselves is of course going to be the most valuable, because we're reaching individuals who are not involved in the pre and post elements of the recording, right? We're talking about these things, we're in them. There's times where we think that we might be conveying something that it doesn't come across on the other side. And, we're certainly always trying to become better at the explain it like I'm 5, right? And knowing that the same thing doesn't work for everybody. Everyone's path is going to be completely different. So it's not a matter of saying this is the path that needs to be taken. It's more so, here are some tips, tricks, successes, failures from other individuals who are trying to do something that you might be interested in some facet. Avoid those mistakes. Here's some tips that you can take along with you while you figure out how to do it on your terms, on your journey.
I love the explain it like you're 5 thing. That's my biggest use for ChatGPT. If I don't understand something like a block of text, I'll put it in there and I'll be like, can you explain this to me like I'm 5?
Yeah.
Like that's literally what I'll write in there. That's like my most common search or like query in ChatGPT.
The first 5 years out of college, I would spend so much time on Reddit, explain it like I'm 5, just digging into topics to be able to get a handle on them. So that way, when it got more complex or when something new would come up, I was able to absorb it and kind of build a base around it. So yeah, explain it like I'm 5 is the key. If you're trying to learn something, if you're trying to teach something, that's the key way to do it. Understand it, dig in deeper, and then if you try to tell somebody else, if you can't explain it to them where they can understand it, then you're not able to teach it yet.
Simple is better. This is way off topic. I feel like I don't know. Learned this in business school, like during my orientation. They had us do like the marshmallow challenge. Yeah, apparently 5-year-olds do a lot better than business and law students because simple is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. We overcomplicate the heck out of things.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's something I do myself, definitely.
Mhm.
And yeah. The more is on your plate, the more you seem like there's more to it. When in reality, it's really the simple things. That's kind of a metaphor for life, right? It's the simple things that are the best things a lot of the time. And life and nature and existence have a way of paring those things down in certain circumstances. And we're probably better off listening to that when we can. But maybe that's a conversation for another day.
Maybe.
As we look off into the sunset.
We're in a basement.
We are in a basement.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting on Anthony's bed when he's in town.
Yeah, I live in Kansas City, just so you guys know, most of the time. Probably said it before. I know I've said it before, actually.
Yeah, you've been consistent in letting our audience know that.
It's a great place.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite place, but it's a great place. Shawnee, Kansas, shout out. Overland Park, Kansas, shout out. Kansas City, Missouri, shout out. Kansas City, Kansas, can't speak too much, haven't been there.
Well, maybe in the future.
Yep.
Future episodes, we'll see where that nets.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a short episode. We wanted to just chat a little bit about consistency. This is episode 11, 10 episodes down. We're really just, excited to reach this milestone. It is a big deal for us to be at this point. There's so much more to come. We have some really cool updates that'll come down the pike. We're really putting together a good roster.
You say pike?
Yeah, down the pike, like
I thought it was
turnpike.
pipe.
Well, you could say pipe, but if you're from New Jersey, you could say pike, like turnpike.
Yeah, but Are most of our viewers from New Jersey?
I'm from New Jersey.
Okay. Yeah, but that's not sensitive to our viewer base.
Should I suppress who I am?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not consistent with my value system.
Your personality should be the podcast, Chris.
I mean, it's half of it,
That's
right? Because your personality is the other half.
of the podcast. But I'm talking about
Yeah.
your personality as an individual. The podcast should be your personality. That's it. Nothing outside the podcast. You live, you bleed, you breathe for this podcast.
Sounds like a Black Mirror episode, doesn't
Consistency.
it? Consistency. Yes, consistency. So we have a lot of really cool guests lined up. We're really excited for that. We have more filming to do. It's going to be busy couple weeks of us getting all of that in line, but definitely have some great stuff that's going to be coming out over the spring and the summer. And once we get past those seasons, we'll be even more consistent, better seasoned, and we'll just keep getting better.
Seasoned.
Take it away.
Do you want to do the finish each other's sentences thing again?
If you want.
All right.
It should just come naturally, but if you want to plan it, I guess go ahead.
I think it's cute. I don't know.
I'm sure it's endearing to watch.
Probably. Maybe to listen to, not to watch. So thanks for listening, watching, liking, subscribing. You can find us at
Business Chatter Pod.
Dude, oh my God.
I thought we were finishing each
What are you,
other's sentences.
Borat?
I thought we were finishing each other's sentences.
That was like, that's like the intro to Borat scene where it's like, that shirt is not gray. That's what you just did to me.
Hey, go back and watch the episode where you finished my sentence and tell me no.
That was cute. We did a good job.
At Business Chatter Pod. Go ahead.
I've lost my on Instagram, and I'm going to read slow so you can't really go.
Go for it.
And you can email show idea. I'm not reading. I remembered this, by the way. I remember all this. You can email show ideas or suggest guests at host. You're just going to read one word. businesschatterpod.com.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for that. So, yeah.
You're going to read one part of the email. It's not finishing my sentence. That's just jacking a word.
Hey, well, that's what you get, man.
It's interjecting in my sentence.
You brought this up. Thank you for your time. We know that it's valuable. We appreciate that you sharing for you sharing it with us. We're the Business Chatter Podcast.
Oh, see?
Yeah, see, not so bad.
Yeah.
Consider us your crash course on value creation
Through
the words of individuals who have done it before.
That was a good interjection. That was smooth.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.